just a little close-up on the cylinder. The honing, it's a plateau finish on the cylinder. I really like how smooth it is. It still should work really well. It's again, I'm testing all kinds of things, and now this is slightly different finish that was last time. So I'll try to reduce the wear, of course, on the it's very high RPM and so on. So let's see. It feels to the finger very smooth now. So we'll see. The rings didn't look too bad, but definitely if I could reduce the wear a little bit with those hours, it would be great. One thing could be the ring material is just not coping, so maybe in the future I will test another piston ring material on this. Since the piston is like this, I cannot really use it the way I would usually use to push the ring in the bore. But it's okay, it will still work. So I have to pass it a few times. So this is the most important thing. So I've noticed these rods have bolts, usually on two different lengths. I guess Stefan ordered a batch of the bolts from ARP. These are L19s, and that's an odd one. So it makes it complicated when they're not all the same length. So I'm now trying to come up with the equal lengths for one rod. It's going to make it much easier to tighten them up. So this is 0, a little under. This is 0. There's a little under. That's gonna be two guys together. Okay, this is half. And this is half though, the difference in those. Okay, these are definitely a pair. I've got one set of new bolts back home. Get a parts from those. I don't think I can make Okay, so these are gonna be close enough. I'm gonna check the bearing clearances, so I gotta get them tightened up for that. So this is gonna be the first round. Okay, those go into the spare rods. Gonna use these now to tighten these guys up and to check the bearing clearance on the rod bearings. Okay, so I've got the bearing in here in place. Next thing I'm gonna do is tighten up the bolts here, put some lube on the bolts, and I've got I know roughly the torque that's gonna give me the stretch. But the first with the torque, I'm gonna check where the length gets and then adjust slightly with the torque wrench if I need to get it tighter for the right stretch. It's around 52 newtons with the oil. The ARP molar loop should be less, but I never really get the stretch that I need if I use the lower torque setting for the ARP. It still is gonna need more, but whatever. The stretch matters, not the torque. So the stretch is 5 thousandths, which means 0.13 millimeters. Yeah, Verdi makes really nice rods. I like the design. The big end has the pins to locate the big end, keep it in place. The bolts are ARP L19 M8s made for Verdi, and with the smaller bolt diameter compared to the typical 3/8 inch ARP 2000, for instance, where the diameter is bigger, the big end becomes wider and heavier. So with the M8 L19, there's a significant weight reduction on the big end. Another nice feature on these rods here, they have a copper beryllium small end, so definitely high quality rods all around. Nice quality from Sweden. Okay, so what I've been able to do today, I got the piston rings filed. I have the gaps that I wanted. I've also matched the rod piston pairs, checked the bearing clearances on the rods too. They are where I wanted them to be. Everything is good. I paired the bolts to be in each rod the same length, so that it's easier for me to check this the stretch when I finally assemble this together. There's a little bit of tolerances on the pistons. The compression height seems to be a bit off in few pistons, and now that I verified the deck, how much the piston comes over the deck, I decided to swap few pistons in the cylinders to get a good average deck height for all the cylinders to be close. So it's in a couple of hundreds now, and that's pretty good. What else? Now I don't know. I might maybe next thing will be what I'm gonna do is to paint the cylinder block, because I need to wait a little bit for the next phase to get the bearings coated. Yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of waiting, so maybe if I paint it now, then the block has enough time to cure before the final assembly. I will also get the cylinder head next week, so then I will be able to check the valve to piston clearances and stuff like that again, and eventually then finally assemble the engine. It's been a long way.